Good morning and welcome to your daily morning horoscope for Thursday, 14th May 2026 Aries. You're likely to find people somewhat irritating. It's as though nothing is good enough and nobody seems to know exactly how he or she should operate. You'll reign supreme over the conflict and dissatisfaction in your life. You may even be asked to step in and restore order. If the conflict is in your domestic front, go ahead, but tread carefully if you're asked to take on the role of the sheriff. Taurus, you may have felt an oppressive mood hanging in the air when you wake up in the morning. Unfortunately, that haze of misunderstanding and conflict is likely to last all day. It makes this an ideal time to speak up about anything that's bothering you. Don't be shy about going into the warpath today. If you don't, you're likely to be the target of a surprise attack. Gemini, the mood you're in today is stiff and more memorable encounters are made. You'll be wary at first, perhaps even somewhat hostile to someone who dares to intrude on your freedom. Then suddenly you realize this person is somewhat special, intriguing and definitely out of the ordinary. Finally, you'll see that the qualities they offer just happen to be what you need right now. Cancer, more than ever before, you'll feel as though it is time to take matters into your own hands and build your future. You're fed up with living on hope and putting your happiness off until tomorrow. Your determination will be so strong that you may even surprise yourself. You'll refine your approach and make it more concrete in the coming days, and today is the first day of a new life for you. Leo, this is an ideal moment to address once and for all the questions that have been on your mind. Pay particular attention to questions that touch on your sentimental life. If you're currently involved in unsatisfactory relationships, don't be afraid to leave them behind. If you're fretting about an unanswered request, let it go. No response is forthcoming. Virgo, something is coming to an end concerning your lack of confidence in yourself. You've been very hesitant to stand in the spotlight for a while now, perhaps feeling you weren't quite ready. Well, no more excuses. Ready or not, you're going to have to push forward. The only thing you risk losing is your pride, and that is your most resilient asset. Libra, it is possible that the last few weeks have allowed you to become a little bit clearer concerning certain questions in your life. You may even have a little more clarity about your feelings regarding what you think your destiny is. It would be now better for you to stop thinking about such things and let life take over. You're well armed for this battle. Scorpio, these last few weeks have been good for equilibrium. It was a question of becoming a bit more involved in life than usual and showing what you're capable of. Most likely you had a mixture of successes and setbacks, but on the whole improvements have been steady. You may have noticed that some things about yourself needs improvement, but isn't this true for everyone? Please take heed. Sagittarius, it's never very agreeable to have a question for oneself, but this is the main objective of today's celestial aspect. You'll soon be launching into new adventures. Take advantage of the energy generated by the planetary configuration to look within and find the source of some of your feelings. This isn't an easy exercise, to be sure, but it will do you some good. Just be honest with yourself. Capricorn, the great period of meditation that started for you a few weeks ago is finished. This means that you are going to have to get back into your real world again. You are going to test how new and improved you operate in everyday life. Get ready, you can expect some real changes. Aquarius, if you have grievances to voice about your love life, this is the day to speak up. Indeed, anything less than totally honesty won't be tolerated today. You can expect to confront the other, whether mate, friend or family member, on the basis of truth and righteousness. Know that you'll command their attention, but be careful that the weight of your words doesn't surpass that of your thoughts. Pisces, are you thinking of switching careers or traveling to another side of the world? Perhaps you just want to pull a Greta Garbo or stay home with the shades drawn tonight. A series of light incidents you've recently experienced at work is likely to inspire the most outlandish idea. It must be that you sense a need for change. This has been your daily morning horoscope for Thursday, 14th May 2026. Do have yourself a great day.
Morning guys, how are you doing this morning? It's Thursday. Boy, the weeks are running so quickly. I'm not complaining though. I'm looking forward to the weekend, but it's time for us to go on over to our news department. Let's see what we're working with there. We'll be back.
A very good morning to you. Time now for the news. My name is Timothy Polion. Uncertainty is gripping one of the capital's busiest commercial centers as vendors at the Castries Vendors Arcade face an anxious wait over relocation plans tied to the site's major redevelopment. With demolition expected to move ahead in the coming weeks, many business owners say they are now scrambling for answers about where they will operate and how they will survive during the transition period.
In the initial consultation with GPH, St. Lucia Port, we were given the assurance that the vendors arcade would not be demolished, this present one we're in, until or unless they have completed the new vendors arcade. But now what we are hearing is quite different. And in terms of the window, in terms of relocation, there is no relocation plan as far as we know. It's only about a week and a half to 2 weeks that vendors were told that they would demolish the vendors arcade and they would have to vacate the vendors arcade with no relocation plan in place. Nothing to say you will be relocated here and there. The only option that was given is that you can go around town and see if there are any space or there are spaces anywhere where you can occupy for the time being. There is nothing in place to say whether to give vendors some kind of support, financial or otherwise, nothing like that. And no areas were designated for them to continue with to survive, to maintain their financial and other obligations.
Phase 1 of the project has already reportedly produced 44 new vending units at the old fire service headquarters site on Jeremy Street, where vendors are expected to be relocated before demolition of the existing arcade begins. However, Isaac says that these facilities are not ready to be occupied. What's learned in the classroom is now meeting real-world construction on the ground. Engineering students from the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College and local TVET institutions stepped out this week for an eye-opening tour of the Millennium Highway and West Coast Road Rehabilitation Project, getting a first-hand look at how major infrastructure is designed, built, and protected for the future.
We want you to see firsthand what goes into designing, right? What goes into the construction of our road, and what goes into building lasting, sustainable infrastructure, right? Infrastructure that is resilient, infrastructure that will perform, right, under the pressures of climate change. Climate change is the buzzword. And that reflects what it truly means to build back better.
Guided by the FDL civil engineers, the students toured the Millennium Highway and West Coast Road, stopping at key areas from Cul-de-sac to an area over in Soufrière. They were exposed to the engineering tactics used to mitigate flooding and other issues previously experienced along the road corridor. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition says St. Lucia remains at low risk for hantavirus transmission, but officials are keeping a close watch on an outbreak linked to a cruise vessel carrying passengers and crew from nearly 30 countries. The vessel, the MV Hondias, departed Argentina on April 1st, 2026, and has since been connected to 9 reported cases of hantavirus, including 3 deaths.
The World Health Organization, WHO, has assessed the overall public health risk as low, and given that the incubation period for hantavirus can extend up to 6 weeks, additional cases may still be identified as investigations continue. Hantavirus is not a new virus, and over 20 strains have been identified. Transmission to humans is primarily through contact with the urine, droppings, or saliva of infected rodents.
The national epidemiologist is encouraging the public to follow all safety measures and to stay updated through trusted media sources. Dr. Francois says limited human-to-human transmission has been linked to the Andes strain of the virus. She also outlined some of the symptoms that may indicate possible infection. And finally, from us this morning, the National Insurance Corporation, NIC, is once again lacing up to promote healthier living. On Wednesday, the corporation officially launched the 10th annual Sneaker Day initiative, encouraging workers across the island to get active and help combat non-communicable diseases.
Non-communicable diseases have been driving a sustained and alarming rise in sickness benefit claims. Imagine between 2013, 2014, and 2021, 2022, the number of claims processed by the NIC grew from 11,996 to 25,594, an increase of over 130% in less than a decade. Of course, the 21-22 also reflects pandemic-related claims.
National Sneaker Day will be observed on Wednesday, June the 24th, and participants are being encouraged to share photos and videos on social media while tagging the NIC and Ministry of Health using the hashtags #SneakerDay2026 and #StLuciaMoves. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Join us at noon for our next news major, the Lunchtime Report. I'm Timothy Polion. Good morning.
We need to take a short break, but we'll be right back. Stay with us. I had the privilege of catching on to a Caribbean advocate. I say Caribbean advocate because that is really and truly what her extensive work is surrounding. Michele Francis is a Grenadian living abroad, living in the US, but she's devoted her life to the study of special education, zeroing in on autism and how it is that we within the Caribbean setting view autism and what can be done. As a matter of fact, she's gone beyond what can be done and she's actually done something. She has put together some resource material that can be utilized throughout the entire Caribbean for educational purposes for children with autism, and it is our hope, and I guess I'm on board with it as well. We're on board with it as well, that the Caribbean is going to embrace this new platform or this new information piece, and it can be utilized throughout the region so that we can be on the same page. Michele has spent a remarkable amount of time and resources into research on autism, but not just autism, but autism within the Caribbean region. And she has curated a number of things, including that book, which is a vital one. We've been highlighting Harper and what they're doing on the morning show. But I think, an opportunity presents itself now for us to go step over into the region and see how it is that we can connect as a region on these matters. So Michele, thank you so much for all that you do, but even more so, thank you so much for allowing us the privilege of being able to connect with you on that platform and that, to make that even more of a reality for us.
Absolutely. Again, thank you. Good day to our listening audience. And it's always an honor to be able to collaborate with persons to bring this awareness and to share all the resources to the much needed people of the Caribbean region. Thank you again for having me here.
Right. Now, there's different connotation, but how do we, and from your research, so I'm going to just be quizzing you right now based on your extensive research pertaining to the Caribbean and autism. So how do we define autism within the Caribbean setting?
All right, great question. Very great question. So autism on the whole, as I said, I'm glad you mentioned within the Caribbean, but it's universal.
Yeah.
So let's see how is the Caribbean defining autism. It's really a neurodevelopmental condition that is characterized by a social communication needs, behavior, and we find that sensory processing. Now in the Caribbean, because now we have that growing awareness, we do not have like a formal, well, at least I'm not aware of any formal definition that is specific to the Caribbean. The Caribbean follows the international framework and definition of autism at this time. And I don't see why we need to, take it, because autism, as we say, it's universal, So in terms of definition, the region follows the international framework, which is good.
In terms of how common it is amongst us within the Caribbean region. I mean, like you said, rightfully said, there's a lot more awareness now. There's a lot more people are now more exposed to information. So is there a spike within the Caribbean, or is just that we are now more exposed to the data?
You nailed it. You nailed it right there, because there is not a increase in terms of, we might see increase in diagnosis in numbers, but that number come from the increase in the awareness. We do not have, and I came across that in some of the research I did, we do not have like a data specific to the Caribbean. It's very limited as to numbers. I remember in Grenada when I held the first autism workshop, and I wanted to find out what is in the database in terms of how many persons, male or female, which parish, and I could not get that data. Not only specific to Grenada, I might say the region on the whole, we have a very limited data. I know some countries like Trinidad and Jamaica and Barbados are now beginning to collect local data through the autism advocacy, and Grenada is also doing likewise through the Departments of Health. Grenada last week, I believe, have just received some of the much needed tools to do the assessment. So yes, and it's really good. And I'm in the ADOS. I'm also ADOS trained. This is one of the tools that is used. Grenada has received a kit last week, I believe, and I'm very happy for that. So hopefully now we'll be able to, they'll be going around in the schools and throughout the health department to be able to get a better idea of the children that are in need. I mean, we don't want to do hallway diagnose and just pointing fingers. We need to have the data, and we need to use sound instrument to be able, so that we don't misdiagnose children at the same time as well. So we have to be mindful of that.
Well, yesterday we had Elmo. Our conversation with him went beyond just what we discussed yesterday. We also excited to announce that he now has a band, which is really good. When we're talking about growth, we're talking about development, we're talking about young people being able to flourish within their field of creativity. And I'm glad that he now can boast of a band of his own, where he can engage other musicians and creatives, give them a platform to be able to showcase and to earn money as well, and to also add to the fabric of St. Lucia some quality sound and quality music and a good band, right? So let's talk a little bit more about the band with Elmo, and you now could probably find out about them from now. Don't play with me. Listen, I can play around now because finally we've got the full-blown band. And we're operating from that regard. Elmo, Norville. What's the name of the band again? EMP band. Now, there's something quite unique about that band because it's not your usual.
No, it's not the usual big band with all those instruments and stuff. It's actually very intimate. The band has 6 members. And I have a few more singers with me. So Ian Production Band has what could I say, versatility.
That's right.
We are diverse. So we have our party band, which includes my keyboardist Grison, or Gummy Bear. We have my drummer Dr. Sweets.
Nice.
We have my 2 front men, DJ Bunker, and we have DJ Venom, who is my MC, and me, the sample man and the bass player of the band, for the party band. Or sometimes we have the 3-piece band, which includes
The little ukulele. Don't it?
and that one is called the Rangers. The Rangers are with me, Shazzy, and Jamali, who is our percussionist.
Right.
And we do all sorts of stuff. We do weddings, we do party events, we do cocktails.
Yeah.
And I also have my jazz band as well, which is surprising.
Wow.
I have a jazz band with my lead singer, Jamie LaForce. I also have a killer, my most amazing female vocalist you could find on Ireland. And we have Kichi on the trombone. I have a trombonist as well.
Oh,
and
great.
the same three common members, Dr. Sweets, Grayson on keyboard, and I on bass.
No, this is newly formulated.
Yes.
So now we can expect to see what's the name of the band? EMP out there, moving, supporting, backing up. You understand? I like how you've created the space though, and you've set it up apart. The party aspect of it, so then you curated it and you've put it together in ways that you know what? Yes, this is my band, but we can. Yes.
We can spread out.
Yeah.
We can be in
custom. We can customize for any occasion.
Event. Whatever you need us for. You need us for a reggae event, we will be there.
Yeah.
You need us for a dancehall event or a soca event, we'll be there. You need us for class and intimacy, we will be there. And that's the things I appreciate. I always saw that musicians need an opportunity to express themselves, not only with the soca culture we know, but there's different things, and I wanted to give people opportunity to do what they love.
Because at the core of it, you're musicians.
I'm a musician. We're musicians, and we need to come together to make a living out of what we love.
Absolutely. But you also have to be very focused, and you've got to be paying attention to the environment and see how it is that you could best utilize what's available in the environment. I like this. Quite innovative. I really do like this. So, have you done your first major performance already?
In the beginning of the year, we opened the Just for Fun band launch.
Okay.
And we were on the big stage with all the costumes, and we did the closing performance. Nice. We also did some brunches at Maury's. We did stuff with Baywatch, which will be back again this year.
Oh,
yes, of course.
That's huge.
And we'll definitely be on the road for St. Lucia Carnival.
Nice.
With the Just for Fun.
Okay.
On both Monday and Tuesday. So catch EMP band on the road. We're gonna destroy all that.
I want to contest them, but it is interview, so I am not going to contest. But I know you guys are going to do an amazing job on the road as well. But who should contact you if they need service in that regard?
So, if they need to contact me, they could find me on Instagram, Elmo Norville, OKAY Elmo Norville, or they could contact me 758-488-9050, or catch me on TikTok, Elmo Norville 4.
Right. Now, if I want to hire your band for whatever, is there anything I need to know before making that call, or because you know what, professionally we want to make sure that people stand there right, respect certain, professional, because sometimes in this part we tend to take these things like, oh, it's just a, for on a professional level, how do I need to approach you?
Okay, if you need to approach me, just text me. I rather you text or email me. I didn't give my email, but my email is same as okelmonorville@gmail.com.
Right.
Just shoot me a message, state to me the time, how long you want me to play for, what type of music you want me to play, and we'll definitely deliver to the best that we can, which will be amazing. That's what I can say.
Absolutely. Right. So guys, we go in and we're out. The next time you're looking for band services, Elmo is right here. Contact them. Went over to Tribe of 12 band house recently, and we thought it was really, really good to capture these sorts of things. And we don't capture everything in that regard, but when it comes to traditional bands like Tribe of 12, whose mandate is set out to sort of enhance the preservation of culture within our Caribbean region, or we can say Lucia rather, we definitely see the need to continue to support bands of that sort, because it's more than just a carnival thing. It's about preserving our culture and heritage. So when persons within the societal fabric decides to lend support to initiatives or bands of that nature to help them to continue to do just that. Like we said, it is really more than just Bacchanal, and it's really more than just Carnival. So we thought it was really, really important to highlight the fact that there are corporate people who are lending their support towards ensuring that the sustainability and continuity of our culture and the preservation of our culture continues. And we had two such entities who have made donations recently to Tribe of 12 to ensure that they can continue to do just that. Well, we're here with Earl. Earl George is the financial controller for the parent company, Western Union, and we just received, witnessed checked presentation for King and Queen of the Band at the Tribe of 12 mass camp. Mr. Earl, can you enlighten us, what transpired, why you guys decided to get involved, and then of course we'll continue the conversation from there, obviously.
Well, actually Western Union is a company which has been in St. Lucia for over 30 years. The parent company is ANC Limited, and Western Union always encourages, as a global company, always encourage the local companies to give back into the communities.
Absolutely.
And so our marketing and our grassroots activities always involve giving back into the community, giving back to our customers and to St. Lucia as a whole. Carnival
is quite one of our biggest cultural showpiece. Of course, King and Queen of the Band, it encourages a very deep-rooted part of our culture, the actual building of costumes, which is, when we're talking sustainability of our culture and the preservation of it, that is definitely an area I can see, the value in pouring into that. So can we expect Western Union moving forward to continue to support in that regard?
Definitely. I mean, Western Union, we're out there with all the bands, but we also here, especially with Tribe of 12, which is a carnival band which began here and is rooted within the culture of St. Lucia.
Very well.
So we are strong on culture, we are strong on communities, on grassroots, and that's why we see it fit to assist in to continue and to aspire with the culture of the country.
Absolutely. Right, I am here with Monique. Monique is marketing and communication at the First National Bank, homegrown. We've got to say that First National Bank is here for you. And certainly, here you are showing up and definitely putting the money where the mouth is and walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Yes. You're here for Tribe of 12, you are on board with them, presenting a check towards the King and Queen of the Band.
Yes.
First National have always prided itself on supporting everything that is homegrown.
For sure.
And you have continued to show that in so many aspects of the word, of the term. We've seen you first ambassador, I think we've had in that of Julian Alfred.
Yes,
you supported Teddy St. John in the
And
strip
he's now an
concert. He's now an ambassador for you guys. You guys have been very, very serious and strategic and ensuring that you do just that. So I'm guessing this is just a continuation of that mandate that First National stands on.
Yes. So as I said a little earlier, First National Bank is a homegrown. It is St. Lucia, and Tribe of 12 is St. Lucia, and it is an institution. That's the word. Tribe of 12 is an institution when it comes to Lucian Carnival, and First National Bank is just a St. Lucian institution. And it's a good marriage of partnership. We have sponsored Tribe of 12 over the years, and we've come on this time in a bigger way as gold sponsor, gold partner, and it, as they said, it fits in well with the theme of this year, gold. And we are here to support, like you said, what is St. Lucian. We are here to support the people in the journeys that they're going on. We're here to support the culture, the music, the education, sports, all of that. But we are really here to support what is homegrown for St. Lucia.
I'm here with Beverly from Tribe of 12. And of course, we go in gold in 26. Don't play with us. Absolutely. Handing over presentation from some of the corporate partners. How important is this for you and your band, man? I know over the years, things have gotten a little challenging challenging because, you know, everybody was running after the, you know, you were fighting for $1 that was heavily, you know, subsidized elsewhere. How important it is for you to have corporate people still see the need to support the traditional bands like yours?
Man, let me tell you, it's very, very important. Without the sponsors, the bands can't continue. They can't. Particularly a band like Tribe of 12, where we are in depth. We play a meaningful mass, a storyline, and on the road we do a road show. So it's very, very important. Our sponsors are very important to us, and today was just the first of checks that were being exchanged, and so we thank Western Union. Very, very thankful for them, and the important thing for us is that the junior queen, who has been the junior queen for the last 3 years or so, she's now promoted to be senior queen. Yes.
She's upgraded.
She's upgraded. So we're very happy that Western Union saw the need to jump in and to help.
Absolutely.
So we're happy about that. Of course, First National Bank. First National Bank has been with Tribe of 12 from inception.
Wow.
When we were Ritual, they moved into Tribe of 12, and so we're very thankful, we're very, very grateful for the sponsorship.
And that's our showcase for today on the morning show. I hope that you're inspired, uplifted, whatever it is, that anything that we presented this morning would have left with you. Well, we are grateful for that once it's something positive. But that's where we wrap up. That's where we send you out to have an awesome day today. It's Thursday. It's the eve of the weekend. So whatever it is you choose to do today, remember to pour into yourself. Remember to be kind to yourself. Give yourself some grace as you go along life's journey. You understand? It's very important that you give yourself grace in this lifetime. That's all. I'm not complicating anything this morning. The simple message this morning is give yourself some grace. Yeah, stop holding yourself accountable so hard. You understand? Okay, something happened you weren't happy about, you weren't pleased about. It's a new day today. Let it go and pick up from where you left off and continue. All right? Give yourself grace. Enjoy your tea. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Definitely look forward to you being here with us.